Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Thursday afternoon, early evening. It is November the 21st. Didn't have a video last night, yesterday afternoon. I was I was like a zombie. It was a long day. We've had a long several days. Both Miss Dog and I both have at work. So I got home and I'm like, I didn't have time to do a video in the truck, and I might do one this evening. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, I don't think I'm doing a video. I don't think I'm doing a video because I'm not prepared, and I'm zombified right now. And if I can't bring it, like bring it, I'm not gonna bring it at all. So because if I'd have tried to do one last night, y'all have been like, I don't know what's up, dog, but you need to go to sleep or something. So back at it today. So a lot going on. I think we're going into a dire situation. We are in a dire situation in Europe with WW3. And I don't think I'm overstating this. I really don't think so. There's a chance I think we're going to be okay. I really do. I'm optimistic, but at the same time, we really need to be watchful. There is a chance we're not. There is a realistic chance that we're not going to be okay with this in this situation. Okay, and I'm going to go into that and give you updates. I'm going to talk about more other stuff too. This updates. The big news today too came out about the some of the nominees for the cabinet for Trump that are in trouble, and one has already removed his name from consideration. I'll go into that. Another one might be next. I'll mention that one. Like I said, we still have a deteriorating situation: Russia, Ukraine, United States, NATO, everybody, WW3, the world. So I'll go into that. And ICBM, hypersonic ICBM, I guess you could call it that. Hypersonic intermediate ballistic missile was used for the first time in battle, fired by Russia. I'm going to that. I have an update to the board. I'll try to fit that in. And also, there was a verdict in the Lincoln Riley murder case. I'm going to start off with that. Also, I have a terrific passage I want to share, so bear with me on that. I have a terrific, really good. It's one that y'all have been putting suggestions in the comments of verses, passages. They're awesome. Please keep it coming. I may not be able to use all of them, but I love it. Okay, I really appreciate it. Governor Kemp, Governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp said I think it was late yesterday, that after the verdict came in, that this guy was found guilty. Of course, he was of the murder of Laken Riley, the student at the was on the University of Georgia. This was early in the year in February when this guy, he was in the country illegally from Venezuela, stalked this girl that was running, taking a jog, and did unspeakable things. I'm not going to go into detail, but he was found guilty. Now, Kemp said that justice was served and it was swift and severe. I will partially agree with him. I will agree that it was swift. I'll agree that it was swift. It was pretty fast. This wasn't no long drawn out thing. All right. But I don't think it was severe enough. In other words, this happened in Athens, Georgia. It was tried in Athens, Georgia. Okay. You got to realize, those of you not familiar with it, it is a blue haven, y'all. This little blue haven surrounded by a lot of red in East Georgia, northeast Georgia. Anyway, the most they could have did to this guy is life without the possibility of parole, and that's what was determined. He was sentenced to life without parole. Okay, good. He's never going to get out, never going to see the light of day. However, uh, taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill to keep this guy alive. I don't like that. It shouldn't happen. Where's the justice for, Lincoln Riley didn't have a say in this. Fought the guy off for 17 minutes. All right. I cannot imagine. Anyway, I don't think it's severe enough. I think this is a problem in our justice system right now, and it's not enough of a deterrent. I don't think it's sad, but with violent crimes, you know, I mean, do away with them. I mean, go Old Testament on these people. They might think twice, right? Life without parole. Now, from what I'm gathering, I did a little research. From what I'm gathering, now he's gonna go to prison, depending on where they put him in Georgia. There's a very good chance he's gonna get justice in the prison system. Okay, depending on how much they protect this guy. All right, and that still may not be enough. From what I hear, especially from Venezuela and these gangs and all this, and a lot of them don't like uh, perpetrators that come in there that have done heinous crimes like this, that have their name attached to this guy. They might take care of the justice themselves, and it sounds like it probably will happen. It's a matter of when. So we'll see. Anyway, that's that part. Um, Other big news today: Matt Gaetz pulled his name from consideration for Attorney General for the Trump administration. He cited that this is becoming a big deal as far as these ethics, these investigations, and all the media coverage on this, and he doesn't want this to drag out, which I think is the right thing to do, actually, in this situation, personally. But he's got allegations of sexual misconduct, illegal drug use, all kinds of stuff going on there. Now, if you were to put investigations on a lot of these people in Congress and these positions and these unelected positions, it would probably make this look pale in comparison. I will say that. However, they really went after this guy, and so he's out. Other candidates being mentioned that could take his place as a nominee for Attorney General are the ones that I saw, the two frontrunners: Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, and the possibility of Senator Mike Lee from Utah. So it's probably going to be one of those two guys. Also, Pete Hegseth. They're really going after that guy as far as the nominee for the Secretary of Defense. I don't know if he's going to make it either, facing possible similar allegations. Of course, they're going to keep, uh, what did they say in the speech again, the concession speech from Harris: mobilize and organize and fight, fight. Said fight a million times. So they're gonna do whatever they can to make it difficult. I'm sure. Um, the board is a little updated. I mean, I've added some things basically, but added as far as on the dark forces side, the dark side, as I say. I think there's a shadow. I think there's something that obviously. Okay, let's just say this: Biden is not making decisions. I don't believe it. They say he is. I don't think he's making any decisions. The guy can't find his way from. He can't find the podium. Okay, he got lost in the rainforest, lost in the forest in Europe earlier this week. They had to go get him. He just started walking away. So he's not making decisions. Who's making decisions, right? I don't know. Is it Blinken? Barry O, Big Mike, I don't know, but somebody is. But the forces of darkness, and these are the targets. That's the big boy. That's the big boy target right now, as we know. The real target, actually, is this side. This is the real target. This is the real target. Um, this, your faith, could be really on either side. The ones standing in your way, these are the ones standing in their way of getting to you and me, our grandchildren, our children. They're standing in the way. The real target is here. They're just standing in the gap. And we're standing in the gap at this point, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay. I might need to get a bigger board, y'all. The board is popular. Y'all, a lot of y'all are saying, bring back the board, get the board out. So I'll probably start changing that around and doing other things with the board. So I got to think about that. Okay. Appreciate y'all's feedback, by the way. Russia is serious now. And I was listening to some things earlier when I was driving around and working, driving around, and you know, brink of nuclear war. You're hearing all kinds of things. We've gone from bad to worse. It's a very delicate situation we're in right now. I believe, we might be okay, like I said, but I think there's a chance we won't. Putin, the thing about Putin, and before I get that far, Russia fired, this over the last 12 hours or so, Russia fired hypersonic intermediate range ballistic missiles into Ukraine. First time that's ever been used. Now, these are nuclear capable, but they weren't nuclear tipped this time. So I think this is a message. This is probably a message like, all right, a lot more of these are on the way. If this foolishness continues, of you firing long range missiles from the United States, operated by the United States and NATO, into our territory of Russia. I mean, think about it. I mean, what would we do if, let's say we were at war with Mexico, hypothetical situation, and Russia supplies Mexico with similar missiles and actually operates them through satellite targeting, hitting targets in Texas, all over the southeast, southwest. What would we do? What do you think we would do? Do you not think we would retaliate not only against where it came from, but who was operating it? So I'm thinking Putin is in a pickle here. Putin is in a tough position too because he knows Trump's on the way. I mean, what are we, 2 months out? Maybe Trump's having influence already. We pray, we hope, but Trump's on the way. He does not want a wider war with NATO and the United States. He just wants his buffer zone between Russia and NATO. That's what he's always said. That's a lot of it, at least not everything. But the other thing is he's probably under intense pressure from within the political game there. You can imagine what it's like. I mean, as I was listening to Tucker Carlson earlier, Putin is not a monarch. He is not a absolute dictator. He has others around him. He has others to answer to too, as well, just like other governments. So he's not the sole. I mean, there's a lot of powerful players all around him, under him, around him, probably scheming to get him. You don't know. And so he's probably under intense pressure to strike. He's had all these warnings he's thrown out there, and he's got to do something. So what do? You send a hypersonic intermediate range ballistic missile. That's what he's done so far. What's next? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be a low yield nuclear chemical? We don't know. Speaking of which, I saw where Russia is also building these storm shelters, these bomb shelters. They're mobile bomb shelters, and they're designed to protect against nuclear fallout, radiation, and chemical attacks. They look kind of like, I saw a picture. It looks like about the size of a big shipping container. They can hold up to 54 people for up to 48 hours. So they're planning and prepping. They don't just have a few of these, they have a lot of them. So that's preparation. They're preparing for something, So that's worrisome. And earlier I said, Biden's not in control. I don't think Biden's making these decisions. They may be telling him what to say, and he's like, yeah, whatever, But also, this occurred earlier in my brain earlier, is who's carrying the nuclear football? Who's carrying there's usually a military officer close by to the president at all times with the nuclear suitcase, with the codes to launch a nuclear attack or retaliation. Who is that? Where is he or her? And if he has to use it, who's going to do it? Biden can't. It would take him a day to figure out how to break the code thing. I mean, so who has the nuclear football? Who has the codes? Who's really calling the shots? If it happened at 3 a.m., who's really answering to that? We don't know. Maybe nobody is. Maybe nobody is, y'all. That's scary too. That made me more scary than anything else here that I'm talking about. Also, the Brits were firing long range missiles. Their Ukraine. I'm sorry, Ukraine was firing British-made long range missiles. Their Storm Shadow missiles at military positions in Russia, similar to our ATACMS missiles. So this escalation continues on both sides, y'all. Also, I believe this happened yesterday. The United States evacuated their embassy or closed down their embassy in Ukraine due to the threat of significant air attack. Yeah. Don't know. It might have opened up today. We don't know. I don't know for sure on that. Putin has said that he's ready to discuss a ceasefire, a peace deal with Ukraine, with Trump leading it or involved at least. But he said that it would also have to set ultimatums and on territories and NATO, and it would also have to be in. It would have to set and agree to Kiev not joining NATO, the Ukraine to not join NATO. So, and territories probably would involve territories that Russia has already uh, invaded and control in Ukraine to create that buffer they really want between Russian territory and NATO. So, January can't get here quick enough. I mean, if Trump had said he could probably end this war even before he takes office, let's pray that that can happen. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It's a very, very serious situation that majority of people, like I've said before, the majority of people out here have no idea. They're just oblivious. Like, what are we doing tonight? So I was trying to give y'all updates and all, okay? I'm going to go to a passage. Bear with me. All right. Proverbs 16. Good one. Proverbs 16, starting at the top of it, goes like this. To man belong the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the reply of the tongue. All a man's ways seem innocent to him, but the motives are weighed by the Lord. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. The Lord works out everything for his own ends, even the wicked for a day of disaster. The Lord detests all the proud of heart, but be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. Though love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. No, through love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. Through the fear of the Lord, a man avoids evil. When a man's way are pleasing to the Lord, he makes even his enemies live at peace with him. Better a little righteousness than much gain with injustice. I like that. This is a good one too. Verse 9. In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. We can make all the plans in the world. Sometimes God just steps right in and says, no, no, that ain't happening. This is what's happening. And you're just going to go with it. And you go with it. And then verse 10, the lips of a king speak as an oracle, and his mouth should not betray justice. Ooh, yeah. But 9 is in his heart, a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. That's money there. That's good. Let's seek his guidance. Pray for guidance. And let's stay close. Let's stay close to Jesus. Let's stay in the Word. And let's be safe out there. Be careful. Let's keep our awareness up. God bless all of you. See you soon.